The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to the November 9th, the wonderful Wednesday edition of today's Trader's Edge Show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day. Hey, let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. And the easiest way to do that is to always remember that life is happening for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that one little 2x4 shift, well, it means we can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Now, today, you and I, we're going to go check on the circumstance of these markets. We'll go figure out what those bulls and bears, what those buyers and sellers are communicating to you and I at just past 11 o'clock in the morning. I do want you to know I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here. But even more important than that, and that's this, during this next 53 minutes, I'm here to serve you. So feel free to pick up that phone, dial on in at 877-927-6648. And if you can't dial in, but you've got a question, we'd love to hear from you. So you can always send me an email. Now send that early and send that to steve@tfnn.com. And inside the subject heading, please put radio show question. Of course, if you're inside our Tiger's Den, well, any and every ping will do. So let's go ahead and get this show started on wonderful Wednesday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to the show. Right now, we got a board of red out there. Dow's off 265, 0.8. S&P down 0.9 or 35 points. One and nearly 0.2% for the NASDAQ 100, 129 points. 1 and 4/10 for the Russell. Trading off 25 points. Semis are down 1 and 9/10%, 47. So we've got some shakers out there. Gold is flat. Silver is flat. It's down 9 cents. We'll still call that flat. Light sweet crude is not flat. She's trading down at down $2.22 at 86.69. Natural gas off 39 cents. That's a 6% move to the downside, but testing support. Trading at $5.74. The 30-year Treasury is up 7 ticks right now. 120.05 is the print. Lead the charge dollar-wise. The upside. You've got Axon Enterprises, $22, 15%. Shockwave Medical, $11, 4%. Biorad Laboratories, 3%, $10. Equinix, $10, 1 and 6/10%. And Enphase Energy up 9 buckaroonies. That's another 3% move to the upside. To the downside, Chart Industries up up $86. That's down 28%. MicroStrategy, 14% or $30. Mercado Libre up 2.5%. That's $22. Walt Disney is down $12. That's off 12%. She's trading out at 87.94. Of course, I want to look at what you want to look at. No requests thus far. So let's go take a look at what's important to be watching today. And for that, what we'll do is we'll switch over and take a look at the Dow. I think the Dow here, if we take a look at the Dow, this is our set of charts here. We've got our little rising price channels, falling price channels. And so if we take a look at our March 20 low, you can just simply go ahead and take that low. And what I've done here is I've used the low from the trading session of September 26. And I can use that exact same angle. And then for the high out there that I'm using the May 10th high. Now, that's the rising price channel. With inside it, there was a subcorrection price channel. And that's what we see here in red. That subcorrection price channel, I've got the red lines are just looking at the co-located open and closes, the bodies of the candle. And then the blue dash line is really the trend line. And what we can see that took place yesterday is price got right up to that trend line. So if the move that we've seen in the Dow thus far is nothing more than a counter trend move and a move that wants to continue to head lower, then yesterday was the top out there. So that's where we start from. This is a weekly time frame chart that you and I are looking at. So where do we go from here, Stevie? Good question. Let's go take a look at both the Dow and the Dow Equity Future Contract, because if there's going to be a top on a weekly basis, we should see a top on the daily time frame. So now let's go take a look at both of those charts out here. The left-hand side is the Dow Cash Index. The right-hand side is a December contract for the Dow Equity Future Contract. What you'll see is both triggered Rhodes Momentum Indicator tops out there, or signals, I should say. First, if you look at the bottom out here, just look at the Dow Cash Index. You can see that also triggered a Rhodes Momentum Indicator signal. But then on the trading day, and as it was doing, that was also wave number 7. That's courtesy of Basil Chapman out there. Just a very small part of the Chapman wave. And we had that nice big old bullish engulfing candle. That confirmed the Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom. Now what we're looking at is a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top. So right now today, as we speak, if the market were to close here, we would have a confirmed Rhodes Momentum Indicator top. What does that mean? That means whenever you get a confirmed top, or really a confirmed bottom, what you start looking at are levels of, in this case here, we'd be looking at levels of support. So where are those first levels of support? Well, in the case of the cash index, we're not using market profiles. That's what we use the equity future contract for. But what we can say, and what we do have, is that oscillator and change line, which is green. That would become the first level of support. Remember when price was moving lower here for 3 consecutive days into November 11th, where did price find support? That green oscillator and change line. If, in fact, we get a pullback and price tests that, which is currently printed out at 32,362, tests and rejects it, that would be a bullish signal, and that would suggest a move back up to yesterday's high. If price closes below that, then it will tell us that it's lost its momentum and that we should see a further pullback. That further pullback would be back at that swing point from November 3rd. That's how we would look at that chart. But we don't just have to look at that chart. What you and I can do is we can take a look at the Dow Equity Future Contract. Also has that Rhodes Momentum Indicator signal that has been triggered, but at this stage of the game, we do not have a bearish reversal candle. All we have right now is an inside bar. Now, wait a minute here, Stevie. So now we've got two competing patterns out here. One tells us we may have a top, the other not just yet. Yeah, that's the way that it is. So what we'd be looking for here is we'd be watching to see if price closes back inside its daily profile. Now, the top of that profile is 33,026. So even if we don't get a bearish reversal candle inside the Dow Equity Future Contract, but we do inside the cash index, then at least we have a signal of at least an attempt of a top. And if price is back inside the profile, then what it would really signal to you and I, or should signal to you and I, is price pulling back to support. That first level of support would be that oscillator, or that next level of support would be that oscillator and change line. That's currently printing at about 32,390. Now, that's a number to write down on your pad of paper. Just use that as a guideline because the number is going to go up or down. And if price were to get below that, then the signal would be a move down to 39.79. So it's going to be the Dow that's really the instrument, and that's been the strong instrument here, that's going to give us a signal whether we've got some kind of a top out there. And that top could, in fact, take us all the way back down to the bottom of its descending trend line. Again, I'll put that chart back up on our screen. Now, if I pull this over to the left here, there's I can't give you a price point of that level out there because I don't know in time, where price will be as it gets down into that area. What I can do on this chart out here is I can turn on the horizontal trading ranges, trading range boundary line. So I'll do that. This is the weekly chart that we're looking at. There we go. That should put those on. So here, when we take a look at this is the Dow Cash Index, where we don't have profile levels. What we do have are these horizontal trading ranges. So on a further move lower, inside the cash index, we know that price should pull back to the 32,360-ish area. And if price gets below that, then the next level would be 31,530. And below that, then we're looking at 28,909. So one step at a time. Those next steps, if we don't have any requests out there, are to go take a look at the intraday charts for the Dow Equity Future Contract. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Currencies, commodities, and bond markets are as important as ever right now with how they're driving the volatility in equity markets across the globe, which is why it's a great time to try out Teddy Kegstad's Tiger Forex Report. Teddy Kegstad breaks down the Forex markets every Monday using his 30-plus years of experience as a trading veteran of futures, Forex, stocks, and options. Teddy releases his weekly Tiger Forex Report every Monday morning with coverage of all the major currency pairs, including the dollar index, the euro dollar, pound dollar, dollar Swiss, dollar yen, as well as many more, and he also has weekly coverage of the crude oil market and the 30-year T-bonds, as they both influence Forex markets tremendously. When you sign up for the Tiger Forex Report, you also gain instant access to Teddy's 60-minute webinar archive he just hosted, Forex Strategies and Fundamentals, What is Behind the Tiger Forex Report. For all the details and to start your 30-day Tiger Forex Report subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Welcome back, folks. Dow's down 212, S&P's off 21, NASDAQ 100 down 101. So for tomorrow's programming, I may not be able to do a show. As most of you know, I live in South Florida, live in Delray Beach, and the storm right now, they call Tropical Storm Nicole, supposed to turn into a Category 1 storm here, and is supposed to hit sometime late this evening. Now, I live on the Barrier Island. And it's they've got mandatory evacuation, so I'm kind of playing it by ear out here. So this morning we had high tide at 10:20 or so, and it really peaked at about 9:30 or so in my location, and the water was right up to the very edge of the seawall out there. So if we do have that storm come in, high tide tonight is at 10:25. So that's kind of like the danger spot. So not sure exactly what time. And when you take a look at the intercoastal, man, you can see the water rushing in for high tide, and you can watch it change directions when the tide is going out, which it is right now. So tomorrow uncertain, and but Friday morning now depending upon the internet, of course, out here. If the internet's fine and the house is still standing, which it should be, then we'll do a show. And if not tomorrow, Friday morning I will do the show from 8 to 9. Of course, that's assuming that I've got internet coverage out there. So hopefully it's not that much of an issue, but we're all battened down now and all prepared and ready to evacuate the island if we need to. So let's get back to the markets out here. Dow equity future contract. Again, we're kind of focused on the Dow right now because of the charts that we took a look at the beginning of the operation. So now we're focused on here are the short-term time frame charts. And from a short-term time frame chart, what I like to do is take a look at a chart that has a topping pattern, because those topping patterns are telling us, okay, try to move back to support. Let's see what happens. So one of those there's really 2 topping patterns out here. There's a TD9 count on the 5-hour time frame chart. And here is the Dow equity future contract. And what I'm referring to here is we had it was a bar following bar number 9. That was at 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon. And until that high gets taken out, you've got a topping signal for that 5-hour chart. That high yesterday afternoon was 33,366. Now, There's also a new profile that is formed here. So we could be getting a real good clue, or you could be getting a really good clue today. The new profile, it is bullish in structure for the 5-hour time frame. The support level is where price got down to this morning. So far, the low of the day has been 32,820. The bottom of the profile is 32,826. 32,826 is the number you want to watch. So that level has been tested. It has been rejected. If that level holds, then what we really have out here is, for the most part, pretty close to a neutral signal. It would most certainly be neutral if price was above that green oscillator and change line when this next 5-hour bar closes. That's at 2 p.m. And that level right now is about 33,033. So resistance, 33,366. Support, though, 32,826. If price closes below that, then the signal for you and I is that price should then make a run for its breakout level. That's at 31,944. I would say if price breaks through that level, then the Dow is giving us a big signal that it's ready for some type of retracement, likely topped out yesterday and should pull back and target the bottom of that descending price channel, which we looked at earlier. So it's 5-hour chart is one of those time frames that has that top and provides us with that nice new profile to provide you and I with a message as to whether this top is of any kind of significance or not. The other time frame to watch, the only item, we'll take a look at the Dow here, that has a confirmed topping signal, and it's the TD9 count top. It also happened to be wave number 7, letter G, so we've got 2 topping patterns out there. That took place at 1300 hours, so that was at 1 p.m. yesterday afternoon, TD9. And we've got price pulling back. Now, here's the deal. So it has not busted through. The level that it has to bust through is its breakout level. And that breakout level is 32,778. What you can see on an hourly basis, we came on and began the show at 11 o'clock this morning. Bar number 8 had completed for the Dow Equity Future contract, and that happens to be the low of the pattern. Bar number 9 will complete shortly after we go off the air out here. And if price is, and it likely will, closes below 33,097, you will have a valid TD9 count bottom at about or and above TD9 count breakout support. What does that mean? That means just like we had a valid top up here, a TD9 count, we'll now have a valid bottom. Now remember, the actual pattern needs a bar following bar number 9 in order to complete, but all that would do is really generate a lower low signal if it were to get below the low of the session so far. And again, that low, and this is a number to, I don't know if you need to write this one down, but 32,820. So we're going to get a TD9 count bottom inside the 60-minute time frame. So now what you want to watch, or what you'll want to watch from noon on, is what does price do? Does versus the TD9 count pattern hold? And for holding, I'm not going to give you the low of the pattern. We're going to use the TD9 count breakout level. If price closes below that 32,778 level on an hourly basis, on an hourly bar, then we know that both the TD9 count will have failed and price is broken through a key level of support. To the upside, what you would be watching for and what you would expect and anticipate is to move up into profile levels. So the profile level and the oscillator and change line are at about the same area. That's at about the 33,063 area. The oscillator and change line is actually at 33,083. So it's the Dow we're watching today. It's the 5-hour and the 60-minute time frame charts, looking for signals there, because if the strong indice gives us a signal, well, then that probably spells curtains for the NASDAQ, for the S&P 500, maybe even the Russell. Now, speaking about the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ, let's go take a look at what it's doing from a market breadth standpoint. And let's see, we're on the white charts. Yeah, let me just pull this over here, and we'll pull this over. And here is our market breadth. So we take a look at the NASDAQ 100. You'll see that the 60-minute time frame is the only one that has a bearish crossover. What I mean by a bearish crossover is right now at 11:24 in the morning, 23 instruments are trading above the top of their 60-minute profile, 52 below the bottom. So that's bearish market breadth out there. I will go take a look at the NQ 60-minute chart as well. If we take a look, let's go, and so the rest of the time frames are still bullish. For example, on the 240-minute chart, you've got 33 above a 4-hour profile and 20 below the bottom. Let's see what's going on inside the S&P 500. I assume we will see about the same thing out here because the S&P is stronger than the NASDAQ, and yes, it is. So you got a 60 minutes, the only time frame with a bearish crossover. That's because there's 139 instruments trading above the top, whereas 226 instruments are below profile, the 60-minute profile out there. So you do have the beginning of a potential market turn. If markets are going to turn, we start to see those signals take place on the shorter term time frame charts and then bleed their way all the way through to the daily chart. And of course, we've already covered the daily and what it could or could not be signaling by day's end. So now let's go take a look. Let's go look at the 5-hour time frame charts for the other equity future contracts out here. So we know about the Dow. That's the lower left. We know about that new profile. Here you've got a TD9 count top inside the ES Mini. What we also have here is a new profile. So price is testing the bottom of that profile right now. The bottom of that new profile is at 3807, 3808, 3808. The low so far today has been 3811. So that has been in trading at 3809. I closed below this. Now this is not till 2 p.m. Would then signal the ES Mini pulling back to 37.15. If you take a look at the NQ, it too has a TD9 count top, and it also has a new profile. Very cool. So this is helpful. The bottom of that profile is at 10,989. The low so far today, 11,010. I closed below 10,989 on a 5-hour time frame. That'd be 2 p.m. would suggest moving to 10,662. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
If you want to take advantage of this sector, now is the time to subscribe to my Gold Report. The Gold Report is a comprehensive look at the metals sector as well as the markets that move gold, which is the currency and bond markets. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. Every Monday morning, I publish the Gold Report with coverage of gold, silver, bonds, the XAU, HUI, GDX, as well as more than 30 different mining equities. To see for yourself the types of profitable trades that are recommended within the Gold Report, sign up now by visiting TFNN.com. Don't miss out on the next great gold trade. Sign up today.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. Dow's down 250, S&P's off 29 points, and the NASDAQ is down 108. Michael P., you sent a email to me. Thank you very much for that. I tried to respond. I don't know if it's going to come back to you through my phone or not, but you didn't give me an instrument. You said you're short, but you didn't give me an instrument. If you'd be kind enough to write back to me and let me know what you want me to take a look at, I will be more than happy to do that. But in the meantime, we do have another request out here. This is coming from Hector and Patty. And Hector says, happy wet, wild Nicole Wednesday. It most certainly is out there. But everything is tied down. All the furniture is in from outside. It was quite a morning out here, which is why I got that newsletter off early this morning to everybody, so I had enough time to kind of take care of what I needed to accomplish here. But he wants to take a look at ExxonMobil. He says ExxonMobil is pulling back today on light volume into the October 28th session. This is looking very bullish. What are our thoughts on this? Well, let's go take a look. We've got the white charts up here for ExxonMobil. And ExxonMobil yesterday, Hector and Patty, formed a TD9 count top. It was a bar following bar number 9. It also yesterday triggered that Rhodes momentum indicator signal. And right now what we have is a three-river evening star. That's the bearish reversal candle. Oh, that's interesting. The bearish reversal candle out there, which it looks like to me will likely hold up. And now the question is, will it bust through support? So if on ExxonMobil, price closes below the center of its bearish structured daily profile, and that level, guys, is 110.56, what that will do is increase the odds that price will make a move back to the bottom of its profile, which is also right near its TD9 count breakout level. So I would say odds favor, at least at this stage of the game here, that ExxonMobil is getting ready to take a break and should pull back to test support. Now, because price had closed above the top of that daily profile, Hector and Patty, for 2 consecutive sessions out there, a counter trend move to the downside would find support at the center of that profile. And that's what it's done so far. So that's at 110.56 level. Now, the reason why it looks to me like price might want to head lower is if I go take a look at the 30-minute chart out here, and I don't have any kind of a topping pattern, and I probably could find an A to B equals CD. That's really not what matters. What matters, what sticks out to me, is we can see that we are now the third bar on the 30-minute chart out here below its TD9 count breakout support, which was at 111.46. So that is suggesting that price might want to move back to the 109.44 level. But a key level of support on a 30-minute chart has failed. You've got a TD9 count top. You've got a Rhodes momentum indicator top, it appears right now as well. And so if price does close below a 110.56 level, Hector and Patty, I would say we're looking at a move back to the 105.85 or 106 area. Now, you had mentioned that price is pulling back into the swing point here. This is a swing point from November. You said November 28th. I'm actually looking at the actual swing point here. So November 28th would be October 28th. October. So October 28th, you're picking up this candle right here. But instead what I would do, Hector and Patty, is because you've got a swing point, which was a November 3rd candle, that's the one I would be focused on. It doesn't mean you're wrong. I'm just saying my eyes would shift to the swing point. So that swing point had volume of 17 million shares. Today so far in trading, what ExxonMobil has done is, already 6 million. So actually, I take a look at this as price is pulling back with volume into that swing point. But still, we've got those market profiles. We know where buyers and sellers reside, so we use that information, and 110.56 is really going to be the number that you would watch and observe. So I hope that helps you out with regard to what the charts are communicating to us and what buyers are telling us, and thanks for your well wishes with regard to the storm. So I haven't heard back here from Michael P. Yet, and wait, there we go. ARKK. Thanks, Mike, for doing that, and I appreciate it. I had no problems there. So ARKK, that's one of the Kathy Woods ETFs out here. So it'll take just a moment for that to get populated. And my apologies because I don't recall what ARKK focuses in on. It's an innovative ETF. And Michael's question was he's short. And I think what he was looking for is some kind of a price target. I believe that was the question. That's actually on another email, and I can't access that so easily. So, Michael, boy, I'm just going to look at the monthly time frame right now. Now, I realize the month is not over. It's only the 9th. But what we can take a look at, you and I, on a monthly basis, is that price is trading below its TD9 count bottom. Now, that was the month of May of 2022. That low out there, Michael, is 35.10. So that's a worthwhile number to keep watching. You're at 33.08 now. This is suggesting to you and I that price should go target. If price closes below 33.98, that what price would want to do, now this is a longer term chart out here, is 22.20. This is the monthly time frame. So again, write down on your pad of paper the number of 35.10. It's a monthly chart. As long as price remains below that, it's signaling to you, and that's a bullish structured profile, by the way, on a monthly basis. That price is also out here. That says your next target on a monthly basis will be 22.20. We'll see if we can find you some other targets as well, but that would be one to the downside. If we look at the weekly time frame chart out here, I don't know how far back I can get some data on this. If we take a look at the weekly time frame chart, well, for the week, if price closes below the October 14th level, that low of 33.74, then its TD9 count bottom will also be negated. Now, its price target right now is 30.90. That on a weekly basis is the red oscillator and change line. Michael, it's going to change by pennies here and there, but if price closes below the red oscillator and change line, that tells you for ARC on a weekly basis, momentum has shifted to the downside. You'll have a falling price oscillator below zero, and that would then say that it should continue to move lower. Now we take a look at the daily time frame out here. I think on the daily, what we'll do is we'll go draw in the A to B equals CD pattern. So to do that, we're going to go ahead and shift gears and go take a look at those black background charts for you. And so first, let's open up the daily time frame chart. Let's figure out where our A point is that we're going to use. We're going to use at least the conservative version out here. And for the conservative version, on a daily time frame, what sticks out at me is the high from the trading session of August the 11th. Then what sticks out to me is the low out here. It looks like it's the low from September 6th. If you audit it, it could be, I think it is, that's our B point. And then the C point is a move up into the trading day of September the 12th. That high out there was 45.68. This high here is 45.52. Yeah. So 1-to-1, A to B equals CD, Michael. This is a conservative chart. It says 31.31 becomes a price target. I am not saying at all that that's where price stops. That is a price target. Now, if you were to get a bullish reversal candle on a daily time frame as price approaches that area, then you would actually have a buy the D point pattern. That would just suggest a counter trend move up to either 36.33. 36.33. That would be the counter trend move out there. So watch that monthly chart because you may be onto something big here. If price continues to trade below that figure that I gave to you, we can certainly draw in other A to B equals CD patterns. Maybe for that, let me see what sticks out on the weekly time frame. Oh boy. So on a weekly basis, yeah, don't know that that's really going to help us. So what we can see here, Michael, is prices taking on a swing point from March 16, 2020. Hey, perfect, the 2020 lows. 5 million shares were traded there on a weekly basis, and that low was 33 even Steven. You're at 33.18 right now. Price right now is 64 million shares. So you got 64 million shares going against 5 million shares. I guess maybe there wasn't a whole lot of activity in the ARC ETF, perhaps at that stage. But here's the deal: it doesn't matter. That's a swing point, and so the next level to also be watching here is $33. You get it close below that, Michael, and you should stay the course. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
The technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Welcome back, folks. So right now we got the Dow down 245, S&P's up 27. The NASDAQ is down 105. And the request that is in here is from G-Man inside the Tiger's Den. G-Man wants to take a look at Roblox. Our BLX is the ticker symbol out here. And so when we take a look at its charts, just to give you a feel for what it's doing, a couple of different things. First, on the daily time frame, take a look at the daily chart out here. Price is taking on a swing point of an A to B equals C. This would be the B point, and that is October 11th. Now, that swing point, G-Man had volume of 21 million shares. Today, this has already traded 24 million shares. So a close below 33.20, this is trading at 33.08, will give you a confirmed A to B equals CD to the downside, with its first price target being 26.99. The second price target would be 21.36. The swing point that is out here that it's going to trade into or potentially trade into if it's down to those levels is back on May 10th. Volume there was about 53 million shares. You can see you've got volume in this today. And again, a close below 33.20 doesn't have to close below it, but a close below 33.20 would be signaling a confirmed A to B equals CD to the downside. What happens if it holds? If it holds, because price is coming to that swing point and it's doing it with volume, odds would favor that that low would be tested again. Doesn't mean it'll be tomorrow, Friday, whenever, but it does mean that that low would likely be tested again. So that's the first element. The second thing, G-Man, that sticks out to me is the weekly time frame. What is price doing? Well, price happens to be testing its high volume swing point from the week that began May 9th, 2022. That had 339 million shares. Now, it's Wednesday. We're not really halfway through the trading session, but let's assume that we were. It's 55 million shares that have traded. Even if we triple it, we're way less. We're way lighter than 339 million shares. So you've got that high volume high to take a look at. If price tests and rejects it, now it's a weekly chart, so you don't know. But it's 33.19 is certainly a level to watch out there. So it's really going to be those swing points and its volumes, and whether that holds or not, I can't say. What I can say is if we just simply look at a 30-minute time frame chart, the pattern that it formed at 11:30 was a TD9 count bottom. So this TD9 count bottom here, you can see was the bar following bar number 9 that set up that pattern. What you should see here, G-Man, is a bounce up to its oscillator and change line. And that would get you to about the 35.55 area. Now, price may get up to that area, test and reject it, That's a red oscillator and change line. If it does test and reject that on a 30-minute basis, that would be a bearish signal and suggest that price would head back and head lower. But right now on a 30-minute time frame, so we know what's going on in the daily. Price moving down with volume. Same on weekly, not so sure just yet and likely not. But on a 30-minute basis, it's 11:45. You should see a counter trend move. And that counter trend move could or should take us up to that oscillator and change line unless price closes below the low of the day so far. So on a 30-minute basis, the other side of this is if you get a close below 32.80 on a 30-minute basis, well, then that's telling you that this thing is ready to head lower. But the call right now, expect a bit of a counter trend rally, then see what happens at the end of the day. You know the levels to be watching, and one is 33.20, the other is 33.19. It's 1 penny different there, Steve-O. It is what it is. So I hope that helps you out, and thank you so much for your request out there. Take a quick peek, see if there's any other requests. There's none that I see here. So that being said, and I don't see anything else inside the Tiger's Den. So what do we want to do next out here? Great question. Let me get back just to kind of the main screen out here and see what's going on. So we took a look at the Dow Equity Future Contract. Let's go take a look at the ES Mini. So let's get back to that set of charts out here. We'll look at the intraday charts here. It's going to take a moment to get that revved up. So 1222, that's the contract that we're trading. And again, we'll have the daily and all the intraday charts below that. Now, you and I think, already looked at the 5-hour time frame chart, which had that TD9 count top. So we don't need to belabor that. But, you know, price right now is held to support as well as its green oscillator and change line. But let's look at the intraday charts, the shorter-term time frame charts. So as price was pulling back, because we've seen a little bit of a bounce, the time frame that has a bottoming pattern is the 15-minute chart. And that 15-minute chart formed a Rhodes momentum indicator bottom. In fact, it did it twice out here, so that you can tell that the market is trying to at least form a short-term bottom. And now what the price should do is go target the top of its profile. So the level to watch out here is 38.18. This is a 15-minute chart. Again, we're just trying to get a feel for what the ES Mini is doing. That's resistance. If price closes above resistance, that was the 38.18 area, 38.18 and a quarter to be exact. If price closes above that, that would suggest a further rally. Rally to where? Excellent question. So we got no other bottom signals out here for the ES Mini. So the next thing I would do is I'd go from the 15 to the 30 to look at profile areas. And so it closed above 38.18, gets price back inside its 30-minute profile, and then 38.28 would be the next target. And 38.22, in essence, would be the target on the 60-minute time frame chart. So watch 38.18. Again, it closed above that. It's going to suggest a further counter trend move out here on its daily time frame. What the ES Mini has is a TD9 count top. Now, that formed on October 28th out there. So no new topping signal, but price is above the top of its daily profile, which is at 37.95. So watch that area. Price can close below. Really, you'd like to see it close below its red oscillator and change line, 37.78, in order to generate a I give you a bearish signal out there. Let's go out to Ron in Denver. Ron, thanks for calling. Thanks for holding. How are you today?
Fantastic. I'm feeling great, and everything's fine over here. It's about 40 degrees out. Not too bad.
Bless your heart. I need you to have the heat on about 85 if I was at 40 degree weather.
Yeah.
So you want to take a look at natural gas, right?
Yes, natural gas and UNG, if you could have some comments.
Sure. So tell me what you're doing.
Well, I'd like to look at some calls on UNG going out into December.
Well, here's what I can share with you. Let me see where we're at on screens. Okay, so Ron, I've got the daily time frame chart, the December contract for natural gas. So what it did this morning, so we talked about this on the show yesterday, that price that there was a new profile that was forming, price had closed or was trading below the top of the profile, and that price would likely get back to support. And that's what it did this morning. The support level of that bullish structure daily profile, Ron, the bottom was 517. The actual low today is 571. The actual low today, 571. The center of that profile is 588. Right now you're trading at 593. This profile formed above the prior profile. So you've got you've got the beginning of a potential trend to the upside. What I can say is if you're looking to buy UNG, you're going to do it through calls. In essence, you got the signal. We'll go take a look at a 30-minute time frame chart or some other intraday chart, see if there's any other signals there for us. But you got that signal. What you don't know is will price break back above $6.55. That's the top of the profile. If it does do that, Ron, then you're looking at a move to 738, and 738 is the top of the weekly profile. Any questions about what I provided thus far, and then we'll take a look at the other time frame charts when we get back from this break. But any questions so far?
No questions. Very clear. Thank you.
Perfect. Okay. So we're going to go to a break here right now, Ron. I'll get those white background charts fired up for you, and we'll take a look at the natural gas contract for UNG, obviously. I'm assuming it's the December contract that is in there to assist you with your trade. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Everything in the universe is governed by the Fibonacci sequence. This mathematical principle is responsible for everything from the most aesthetically pleasing artwork to patterns in the stock market. To stay on top of stock patterns you can take advantage of, sign up for the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter at TFNN.com. When you subscribe, you'll get a weekly report from veteran day trader Larry Pesavento on stocks you need to pay attention to. And you can trust Larry's analysis. After all, he's got 45 years experience as a day trader. Larry will also provide daily charts, videos, and data on the key markets that he's tracking. Expect notifications from Larry on market movement you need to act on at any time. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. Subscribe to the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter today. TFNN.com, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. We're on the line with Ron in Denver. We're taking a look at the natural gas contract, which this morning pulled back and tested the bottom of its daily bullish structured profile out there. When we take a look at these intraday charts here, Ron, 10-minute, 15-minute, 30-minute, 60-minute, you see each of these have Rhodes momentum indicator signals. Now, if price is able to close above its green oscillator and change line on an hourly basis, that's currently at 593. That's really going to be a confirmation that you've got a nice solid bottom. We don't, and price should make its way up to at least resistance, and that'd be $6.55. You've also got a nice TD9 count bottom on the 5-hour time frame chart, and that should take price up to about $6.31 or thereabouts. So you've got what you're looking for the trade out there. What I just don't know, and I could look at the UNG charts, but this is the better set of charts for you to be looking at, Ron, for that trade, is what happens when natural gas gets up to $6.55. Does that help you with the information that you need?
Absolutely. I appreciate it. I'm going to initiate some calls now, and
Perfect.
It's a little stronger on natural gas. I'll put on some more.
Okay, sounds great. Hey, Ron, thanks so much for calling. Always good to hear from you. That was Ron in Denver. So we got about a minute left here, folks, for the show. Let me just switch back. We're on these white background charts. We'll just go back to take a look at that Dow set of charts there where we're looking at both the, if I can find it, where is it? Here we go. Today's important charts. So you still got that bear sash candle going. Before, earlier, I think we might have had a Three River Evening Star, but no, that was on oil, I believe. So you've got the bearish reversal candle so far in the cash indices. Not so much on the daily time frame for the equity future contract, but there what we're using as a signal would be a close below 33.026. So we're certainly getting the signal of at least a retracement, just like with Ron. What we don't know on a bounce inside of natural gas, whether we'll take out resistance. And here what we don't know is on a move lower, whether price will take out levels of support. And again, on the cash indice, that first level of support to the downside is going to be 32,362, whereas the next level on the Dow Equity Future contract is going to be about 32,441 or so. Folks, hopefully I'm back with you tomorrow at 11 o'clock. If not, I should be back with you Friday morning, 8 o'clock. Join me for Tea and Crumpets. Have a wonderful Wednesday. Stay tuned for all the great programming here at TFNN. We'll look forward to seeing you again soon. Take care.